Hello, my name is Daniel Cervan-Gil. I am the manager of programs at the Global Center for Pluralism, and I'm delighted to be joined by Aung Kyaw Moe from the Center for Social Integrity in Myanmar. This interview is part of the Center's Pluralism and the Pandemic online portal, a curated collection of writing, interviews, and videos exploring responses to the pandemic around the world from many fields of practice. Hello, Aung Kyaw Moe.
Hi, Daniel.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
So the first question I had for you, Aung Kyaw Moe, is during this global health crisis, issues around equity and inclusion are being revealed and exacerbated in all sectors. What have you witnessed in your sector in particular and in Myanmar, particularly in the regions where the Center for Social Integrity works? And what can you learn from this experience?
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. It's a great question. And Myanmar, of course, is different in terms of this COVID-19 context with the transmission rate and total positive case and things like that. When it's come to the inclusions and exclusions of the different communities into the society, I think COVID-19 we can take both positively and negatively. In Myanmar, the country itself is so diverse and it's fragile, and there is many 100,000 IDPs and vulnerable communities across the country, and that does not have the whole world is claiming like stay home, and those places, those people who do not have a place called to stay home, and you are in congested IDP camps or hard, it's very difficult to be following what the world is saying to be preventing this pandemic. So to include the minorities and vulnerable communities that does not have same level of resources, or their resources has been destroyed by particular parties, it is very difficult to ensure the sense of inclusions in collectively fighting this pandemic. On the other hand, I think those who are lucky enough to have stay home, or to have a place called home, and to have the resource to test, and to have resource there to that's provide proper medical service and care, come to understand like in some aspect, like it doesn't discriminate whether you're poor or you're young, or it doesn't discriminate your color, your religions. It's hitting common humanity. So the sense of humanity is, like, for some people it's reshaping by the pandemic. So there are both positive and negative aspect of it when we look into pandemic. Of course, it could be if the pandemic's over in a best case scenario in like first 2 quarters of the year, the world will be in a different order, socially, politically, and economically. So to in a nutshell, I think it's an opportunity and challenge for humanity, and we can either take either directions. We want to shape the world forward.
So from all what you're seeing in working with the communities, you're saying that you're seeing a sense of humanity emerging at least in some people, going beyond ethnic, cultural, or any kind of differences, seeing them as strength. And can you tell me, what do you hope that we will hold on from this experience into the future, particularly in Myanmar?
I think Myanmar is a country that's, as I was saying initially, it's very diverse, and we have almost 140 plus ethnicity in the country, and it has been also a source of conflict. The diversity has been taken as a source of conflict between the different communities. But now you can see that, like, for example, Buddhists are donating to Muslims, and Muslims are donating to the Buddhists in need of crisis. So this, like if you're in the same block with the Muslims, Hindu, or Christians, It will not distinguish, it will not spare you just because you're a Muslim. So it is hitting humanity. We are combating a bias that does not distinguish, that does not understand the racial differences or religious division that we have. So I think, as I was saying again, this teaches the greatness of the humanity that's as a whole, and a lesson for the humanity and especially political leaders that they can take decisions that create a more inclusive society, a more inclusive nations, that by leaving no one's behind. So the hope for me, it's like it is an opportunity as well, while we are paying the highest price at different scales, and is getting back this humanity, a sense of solidarity in fighting together.
That is great to hear. So what is, and I'll finish with this question, from the work that you guys are doing and the work that you see also in other organizations, what are some of the best practices that you are seeing emerge out of this pandemic?
I think first to go back, I think also there's a lot of like discriminatory stigma rising in parallel with the sense of humanity. Like if you have a disease and you are not being allowed to be entering to the blog that you live, even you want to self quarantine yourself, and so at the same time, I think it's promoting hatred among different peoples if you are seen as a threat, and if you are seen as a contributor to the disaster or pandemic. And more importantly, to the Chinese people, like it's originated from China, and even some of the world leaders are calling Chinese virus. And so these kind of like racial discriminations are also parallelly arising, and people like who got infected from their relatives, their extended relatives get like extreme stigma through like so this is the negative side of it's parallelly going as a so I think it's parallelly bringing us two different directions again, and I mean, we are intelligent human being, and we are going to be choosing which direction we take that will lead us to a prosper future, more inclusive world that we all want to see, and a better place that we leave behind than we found. So that's I think something that I missed in the first question that you have asked me. So the best practices, if we go back, and the best practices would be, it is shocking, like in every aspects of the life, and you could get like, you could feel that you are at home for 38 days, 48 days, and the world is not functioning in the order that you used to see, and supply chains are not working, and you're hearing all these news, 100 of death tolls and 100,000 of death tolls and infections. It put you mentally in a situations where you could not see opportunity within yourself to be as productive as you could be, and to be as resilient as you could be. So it is first and foremost, I think, as an organizations, what we care most is our staff member are healthy, safe, and resilient to the situations, to cope with the circumstances of the situations, where we can be health provider to those in needs and being in the front line. So that's one of the best, and this requires development of the policy for organizations wide, that at all level of the organizations that it is applied, and you ensure that weekly, daily basis, that your staff member that are working from home are having sufficient support they need mentally, physically, and in the, of course, the capacity is limited because the world is not functioning in a way. So having that sort of policy, standard operating procedures as an organization is in place, that's put the human at the core of the organizations, rather than any numbers or any dollars or any project that you do, is the most important things, and that's what we have been doing. Second, this scenario contingency planning, and scenario contingency planning allow us like to be in a better positions to combat this pandemic, and communicating this like developing this inclusively through mind mapping, and not just a paper that an executive writes or a consultant write, and you throw it at the middle of a meeting to all the staff members. rather it's like to include everyone in the discussions, that ideas are generated and ideas are converted into decisions that we all are going to be following. So coming with the contingency plan within the organizations, in maintaining the organizations, and if you're a responder, and how you are going to be responding with the contingency plan. These are some of the best practices that we put in place, and I think we have been quite good. And also we experience like some people are down, and it's okay to be down. And when someone is down, and we are conscious that the person needs some sort of support, that's encouragements and things like that, and so we help, and some are maybe in the financial, there were a lot of panic buying, and so we had to educate, and this is situations where we did not experience in the past at the larger scales, and so we had to like provide all the resource that you are secure mentally, you are secure physically, because we provide all the personal protective equipment, and you are financially secure as well. You are not going to be fired just because the 3 months that we are not going to be able to work, and we will do everything we can to maintain, to give you the paycheck that you deserve, even though in a country like Myanmar, there is no government support for those who are earning money. We are on the payroll and things like that, unless you are a daily workers and you get limited support. So ensuring the financial security of the staff member and employees is the best thing that you already ensured that they could be put, like if something goes wrong, and there's and ensuring that everybody has a comprehensive insurance plan, and their insurance plan is communicated with them and what they deserve in case something goes wrong. And these are the best practices that we put in place, and we have been doing very good so far with that.
Thank you very much, Aung Kyaw Moe, for joining me today. For those watching online, if you're interested in more content like this, please check out our Pluralism in the Pandemic portal by following the link at the end of this video. Thank you very much, Aung Kyaw Moe.
Thank you very much.